Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a collective reading for the beginning of 2025. So, because this is a collective reading, I'm doing it with my big combined deck of tarot cards and astrological oracle cards. So, you'll see both of them in your reading today. In fact, we are beginning with a card from the astrological oracle deck. But before I show you the cards, let me just say that the message that is showing up here feels like a response to the one that came up in the new moon Capricorn collective reading. So the last one that I did for 2024, which feels very compatible, very it's like a very resonant type of energy. It's like we are acting in a certain way, right, as a human collective, and the universe is responding to our ascension. Because remember that in that collective reading, there was a certain order that needed to be respected, going from the physical through the emotional and then the mental body. And then this process would eventually lead to freedom, right? More flexible movement. So it's almost like reversing the norm, or it's like following a certain order but then reversing that order. And here it's almost like a response to that, because there is the acknowledgement very, very powerfully here from the skies, from the stars specifically, to how we are committed to this process of ascending. So it's almost like we have been doing this upgrading from the physical to the more subtle, and now we can feel the subtle coming into the physical. So basically this is what is here, right, in the message today. The other thing that I just want to add in this beginning portion of the reading is that there is this power of the collective that is coming together, not just physically, although that is almost like the last part of it, but in regards to the energy, there is a collective energy that is gathering, that is very potent. And I feel like that is amping up the way that we receive these responses, the way that we receive these messages, because we are exactly where we need to be collectively as well as individually. But the power of the collective nourishes our way individually, right? So we're going to get there. So let's begin with the first card, which is Juno. This is the card that I was talking about from the astrological oracle deck. So this is a card that represents a constellation, a feminine constellation that is the wife, or the symbol for the wife, the one that is committed to something or to someone, right? And I do feel like the commitment is very strongly connecting to the new moon in Capricorn, because Capricorn is all about the commitment that we have with, everything that we want to build in our life, relationships, businesses, a life path overall. So this is the symbol for that first and foremost. But really, what this card is showing is it's almost like how the stars are aligning in a specific way, creating almost like a node or some sort of a hub, right? It's like this hot spot that it's marking a specific spot in the sky. And when I say in the sky, it's not necessarily, a conjunction of swords, although that might as well be the case at some point. But what this acknowledgement is coming first with is the message that the stars are showing the location for us to be in terms of our spirit, in terms of our mental space, because the Five of Swords is coming next. And if you go back to the that collective reading that I did for the new moon in Capricorn, the very second card that showed up in the first spread, right, for YouTube, it was another 5, but it was the 5 of Pentacles. So for that collective reading, it started with the physical, but here it's almost like the beginning of 2025, it's actually being marked, it's like it's being highlighted more than anything else, right? This is what this symbol is showing. It's like a highlight. It wants to be this this marker, right, that places us spiritually in a specific, it's not even in a specific place, although the Five of Pentacles shows a location, is more like this spiritual integrity. So if in that reading it was all about starting with the physical integrity, right, it's like your well-being, perhaps your health, here it's more like your mental well-being, your mental health, your spiritual health. How well are you taking care of this spirituality of yours? And this is where we meet, because this is the feeling that I have with these two cards being followed by the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands is the first gathering, but you know, you'll see the alignment in the thumbnail that Juno is pointing the place for the gathering, both energetically with the Seven of Wands, but then physically with the Seven of Pentacles, right? This is the middle column of the reading. So there is this indication for where energetically, or where in frequency, where spiritually this gathering is happening. So there is this meeting point, let's say, and this is what the stars are showing. And when I say stars, I'm talking about stars in the collective, just because of these multiple lines that are crossing, right? So it's almost like the alignment of the stars, but not necessarily in a way that is astrologically speaking. It's more like energetically or spiritually. So that is, it's almost like it's just adding up all of the energy. You know, it's almost like, you know, many stars together are just enhancing their own brightness. So this highlights the spiritual integrity that is showing us the meeting point for us all as a human collective to gather around, right? But it's more like as an intention. I'm thinking of like these global collective meditations, right? It's like you don't even have to leave your home to connect, right? To be part of this collective that is gathering around. It's more like this mental state of mind, right? It's like this healthy mental state. So this is what the meeting point looks like. It's like where healthy souls gather around this common point, which is indicated by the stars, right? Which is, again, highlighting the fact that united, it's almost like it's just strengthening the commitment to growth, right? The last collective reading that I did for the new moon in Capricorn was talking about the personal growth. And here is almost like the response saying, not only we have been growing, you know, and maturing physically as humans, right, from this realm, but it's like energetically speaking, spiritually speaking, yes, there is this acknowledgement that that is also happening in that sense, in that level. So here's where it takes a little bit of a turn, because, you know, it goes from the gathering to the Three of Cups and then the Nine of Wands. So if here we have everybody together, right? It's like this focus. It's almost like sitting around in a circle. There is this concentration of the energy because the highlight is being shown by the stars. So it's like this focal point, right? This meeting point. So it's everyone together. The Three of Cups is almost like the purpose of this gathering, which in a sense, it's not for the gathering itself. It's more like it's more about what's going to happen after the gathering ends, right? So the gathering is meant to facilitate a co-creation from the heart space, because the Three of Cups here is talking about the reason why the gathering had to occur in the first place. And that is almost like it's almost like the meaning for this highlight, the meaning for the alignment of the stars, the reason why everybody needed to come together at this moment to receive this. It's almost like to hold space, right? But because it's a co-creation that is very potent, and that each individual from this group that it's like it's going to carry this message or this purpose in their own paths afterwards, like being so potent. It's like it needs to be spread. It needs to be what is the word? It needs to be shared, right? Even though the 9 usually to me symbolizes the individual path. But you see here how the 9 is a consequence or comes after the 7. So, and the 7 with the 3. So the gathering for the co-creation, and then for each individual, it's almost like here is this, what is the word? It's like when you're saying goodbye, it's almost like, you know, this wishes, like, corridor, right? It's like everybody is just it's like the standing ovation is what I'm hearing. The standing ovation, it's almost like everybody that is going through this tunnel or through this corridor, leaving the gathering, it's like it's being acknowledged, it's being enhanced, it's being what is the word? Praised. Maybe that's not the right word. It's more like motivated, right? And thanked, perhaps. So there is this individual path that takes place after the gathering, and it's almost like because of the gathering. So each path is unique, but it carries the same intention, the intention of co-creating from the heart space, because there was this, it's like this concentration of energy, right? Facilitating this. So people holding space for each other. And then, this is the interesting thing. After each individual has gone, you know, their own way, I do feel like this is just momentary. It's not like this definite now, you know, each one of us are on our own and we're not going to meet again, because after the 9 of Wands, we do have the 7 of Pentacles. And remember that I said it's more energetic at first, and then it takes place on the physical. So it's more or less like that. There is this global meditation that is occurring on the ethers. It's not necessarily physically yet, but then there is this understanding in each person's heart that's been part of this group, that now they carry this ability to see the beauty despite the challenges, because there is this knowingness that they're going to come together again. You see what I mean? So the 7 of Wands, it's almost like the energetic preparation, the soul preparing for the physical meeting, for the physical gathering. So it starts with the meeting point that is being shown by the stars in a very spiritual way. It's a very subtle realm. It's almost like an intuition or a vision or just like a knowingness, right? But then it goes through the emotions, it goes through, you know, almost like this need, right? This desire to do this meditation, to, you know, whatever, you know, just call your friends and, you know, whatever it is, share this moment because of this, right? Because of this alignment. And then when the purpose is revealed, which is this common creation, so a co-creation from the heart, and everybody, it's like it's doing what is, it's not even what it's called, but it's more like an invitation, right? It's like now that each individual is now energetically connected and just amping up the energy, enabling others to co-create from their heart as well. It's like there is this excitement to see whatever challenges are going to show the road ahead that is going to be unique for each individual. And then eventually the physical gathering is going to happen, right? Because we're ending here with the 6 of Pentacles, which feels like a similar energy to the 9 of Wands, but it doesn't have the same challenges or the same weight or even the same, you know, negativity or heaviness. It's more like things are so on track, right? Because to me, the 6 of Pentacles talks about that. It's like I always see like this train on track, not too fast, not too slow, just right. And I feel like this is like it's almost like the weaving of relationships, not just energetically. Maybe that was part of the challenge, right? It's like knowing that in a soul level there was a connection, but you know, you were still feeling like you didn't have your soul family near you or something like that. But then carrying on, right, pursuing this path because it was purposeful, and then eventually when this gathering physically occurs, when it's taking place here on earth in this physical realm, it's almost like it's the same thing. It's almost like the vision that is now being actualized it's like the manifestation of what has already happened in a subtle realm. You see what I mean? And then the difference, right? Because at first, you know, being just energetically, the gathering occurs and then each person is applauded or is just congratulated, right, on their way out. But here it shifts because it's now concrete. It's almost like the relationships are coming together in a real way, in a more physical, visible way, that because the way that I'm seeing this, it's like a weaving, right? It's almost like this stitching that is happening, but it's very delicate, and it's like the formation of relationships, but relationships that are meant to, it's almost like meant to be the solid bridge, right? It's like, and I want to say, now that I said the word bridge, it's almost like the bridge, a solid bridge to this, right? Because it's almost like, remember that I said in the beginning, this reading is a response from the universe to that first reading that I was mentioning, the new moon in Capricorn reading that I did in the last day of 2024. So here it's like that was the ascension process, and now here it's like the stars are descending so that there is this meeting in the middle, right? The meeting point is not just spiritually, but there needs to be a bridge. And it's almost like the more people are connected and strongly like in friendships or, you know, just in proximity to another, it's like this is forming this bridge so that this process of descending, right, of the stars, it's like this process can actually happen in due time. I'm hearing right now because of the Wheel of Fortune that is at the bottom of the deck. So I do feel like this is not something, you remember, this is a process that happens in stages, right? First, spiritually, like it's almost like testing our spiritual integrity at first. And then the gathering happens in a way that when is the time for the physical gather to really, really happen, it's like things are just going to flow in such a fair, such a harmonious way that there is no hardship, right? It's almost like overcoming this sense of loneliness, perhaps, or just the sense of carrying the weight of the world on your back, right? So here, it's like the universe is in our favor, let's say, because we are, you know, favoring the stars as well. It's like we are going towards it and they are coming towards us. So it's like this reciprocal relationship. So not just amongst us, but also from us to them, and from them to us, from the stars to us, and from our human collective to the stars, which feels very, very timely. It's almost like this sense of it's been a long time coming, right? So I feel like there is more coming from this Wheel of Fortune, but we'll see. Okay, so I am going to pull more cards to see whatever else wants to come for this reading. And also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find a link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. And Happy New Year. May you have a very beautiful 2025. Okay, bye.